Don't imagine I'll forget the day when Rupert bloody Curry was fired. I was, 13, 14 maybe? It was half-term or something. No school anyway. Me and some of the girls from the gymnastics group had been showing off our tumbling routines in the park. You know, somersaults, cartwheels. Boys pretending they weren't watching. Early afternoon it was, and suddenly there were two things I really wanted. One was a shower. Gymnastics is a sweaty business. The other was something to eat. I was famished. When I got home, I was on my way to the kitchen when Rue turned up. I mean, it was clear that this was serious drama time. Bad-tempered we were used to, of course, but that day he seemed not only explosively angry, but also terribly scared. And it came out that he'd lost his job. Shit, I'd lost my appetite. Jenny and I scurried upstairs. She sat on the toilet looking very lost, while I had my shower. "What happens now?" she asked at some point. I don't think I replied. Later, Mother was on the phone to Mustard. You know, her best friend. One of her mates who call her not Cressida but Cress. Mustard and Cress. Anyway, she asked me to go round to Waitrose for something she needed for supper. I used the payphone to call Jack. You see, somehow Jack, he's always been there for us. Not there in London that much, in fact only rarely. But for my mother, reachable through her letters, and I had a number he insisted I could always call in an emergency. Uncle Jack. He's always worked for some rather grand Middle Eastern sheikhs, a hugely powerful aristocratic family. If they were royal, which maybe they are, he'd probably be their court chamberlain. I had the same question for Jack that Jenny had asked me. What happens now? I don't remember what he said, actually. When we met in Dubai last summer, I would probably have asked him the same question, but he never actually told me about Rue's suicide and the missing cash. Just gave me the damn letters. What happens now? I wonder, did I ask the same question when my mother and Jenny had our first proper conversation last summer? If I did, then it would have been on account of losing my sweet little dog Jessie. That, well, hit me hard. Do you know something? I find that talking to you in these videos is a bit like the way I used to talk to Jessie. The main difference is that when you lot bark back, I understand every word. Thanks for the comments. Yeah, what happens now? Let's see. On March 21st is the spring equinox. For another 3 months, the sun will be setting later every evening. That's what I like most about springtime. Longer light in the evenings until Midsummer Night's Eve. But that's still 3 months away, and Bastille Day is even further in the future. What happens now? No, what happened then, on the eve of Bastille Day last year. It's in chapter 3. There! I knew I had it somewhere. Alright, she doesn't look like the world's most intelligent dog, but I'll tolerate no disrespect for the dead. Good. The photo of Jessie's next to the camera. It helps. So, girl, I wonder what you'd have made of Philip Man. You'd have been there with me that evening, of course you would. And I suspect that you'd have been just a little bit jealous. Would I have danced with him? Later, perhaps, if things had turned out less lethal that evening. No, definitely, we would have danced. He would have asked me and risked having his ankles nipped at. But of course you weren't there, dear Jessie, and the evening came to a premature end. What happens now?